Aliceballet. Hello, Aliceballet friends! I'm Alice, ballet teacher. Aliceballet friends, today the teacher wants to ask the mirror a question. Mirror, mirror, who are the prettiest people in the world?
Aliceballet friends!
Wow! My Aliceballet friends! Did you hear that, Aliceballet friends? It says that our Aliceballet friends are the prettiest and the coolest. Today, we're going to listen to an interesting Snow White story with the Aliceballet teacher and do more interesting Aliceballet. Oh! Before we hear the story, we have to do something. We're going to do some Aliceballet gymnastics. Alice friends, let's dance.
With my foot I tap, tap, tap. With my hands I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first, left foot then, round and round and back again. With my foot I tap, tap, tap. With my hands I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first, left foot then, round and round and back again.
Today's story is about Snow White. In a very beautiful palace, Snow White lived. Snow White was very, very beautiful. When Snow White was very young, her mom died. So, she lived with her stepmother, and her stepmother, the queen, had a very bad spirit. The queen had a magic mirror. And every day she would ask the magic mirror, "Oh, mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?"
That would be you, the queen.
When the mirror replied, the queen was delighted. Snow White grew more and more beautiful. Then the queen asked the magic mirror again, "Oh, mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?"
That would be Snow White,
replied the magic mirror. When the queen heard this, she was angry. So she called in the hunter. "You must take Snow White to the forest right away, and you must kill her secretly." But the hunter, who had a good heart, couldn't kill Snow White. "Snow White, you must run away now. The queen wants you dead." Snow White ran far away and found a small cottage. Snow White went inside. There are 7 little plates and 7 little beds. I wonder who lives in this house. Snow White cleaned up and made dinner. Then fell asleep on one of the beds. That night, the 7 dwarfs came home.
Someone is sleeping in our bed. Who are you?
Snow White told her sad story. Then the dwarfs said, "Snow White, you live with us now." And they shed tears for Snow White together. So, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs lived happily ever after. Then one day, the queen asked the magic mirror again. "Oh, mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?"
That would be Snow White, who lives in the forest,
replied the magic mirror. When the queen realized that Snow White was still alive, she was furious. "This time I'll get rid of her myself." The queen disguised herself as an old woman. She took a poisoned apple and went to where Snow White and the 7 dwarfs lived. When she saw Snow White, she spoke to her. "Oh, beautiful lady, this is a very tasty apple. Would you like to take a bite?" When Snow White took a bite of the apple, she collapsed. The 7 dwarfs came home and were very sad to see Snow White collapsed. Just then, the prince walked by and stopped.
What's going on?
"Snow White is dead," said the 7 dwarfs. The prince picked Snow White up in his arms and kissed her beautiful face. Just then, Snow White spat out the piece of apple stuck in her throat, and she came back to life. "Wow! Snow White is alive!" The 7 dwarfs were so happy. The handsome prince and Snow White got married and lived happily ever after. Alice's Ballet friends, did you enjoy the story of Snow White? Now, let's see how the bad-hearted queen and the pretty Snow White do ballet. Let's go! The bad queen said, "Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?" And the mirror replied,
"That would be Snow White."
Aliceballet friends, wasn't that too hard to do? Well, let's try it one more time. The bad-hearted queen said, "Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful person in the world?" And the mirror replied, right?
That would be Snow White.
Aliceballet friends, did you have fun at Aliceballet today? The teacher was so happy to do ballet with Aliceballet friends today. Aliceballet friends, we will do Aliceballet again next time.